Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations with another card project for you today. We are going to be using products from the January Paper Pumpkin kit. We are not going to be making these projects, but something different using elements from this kit. I do offer for all of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers exclusive projects, additional projects that you can use your kits or your stamp set for to make additional projects throughout the year. And those are exclusive just to my subscribers. We usually have anywhere from about 6 to 10 different projects each month that uses some sort of element from the kit. So just wanted to give a little heads up on that. This is not my exclusive project, obviously, but I do have projects that will be loaded for all of my subscribers. So if you are not subscribed to Paper Pumpkin and you would like to be, the link is down in the description box below. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. Let's go ahead and get started. Our pieces, so we're actually going to be using the stamp set for this set, for this card. And here is just kind of a quick little sneak of the stamp set. I'm sure you've seen it already. But so we'll be using the Your Suite for this card, and the other projects that I have on there uses different sentiments and other aspects. So our card base is going to be crumb cake, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. It's a little different for me lately. I have a piece of the Love Blossom DSP paper stack, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And you can use either side. I'm going to go with the Blushing Bride side. And then I have a piece of Whisper White that's cut at 4 by 2 3/4. So it goes just about halfway up the card. And I also am going to be using some of the Crumb Cake seam binding ribbon. The colors we're going to be using are Crumb Cake and Blushing Bride. And like I said, I'm going to use the Your Suite. I've already got those on my block ready to go. And then another piece that I have, which is actually a part of my other one of the other projects that I have that is exclusive. This is a cutout, but I had stamped this with the X and O from the stamp set, and I had cut it out, and so this was left over, and so I'm going to use this on my card as well. All right, so to get started, what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and just stamp the Your Suite. And I think I'm going to do the Sweet in Crumb Cake. So we'll ink that up. Make sure it's nicely inked. And then I'm going to put that down here at the bottom corner. And I'm looking at this and I can tell that it is not straight. So let me just stamp this off. And I'm going to lay it back down on my work surface and just make sure that it is straight. I'm going to put this kind of at an angle so I can make sure it's lined up. Okay, that looks better. All right, now back to what we were doing. Crumb Cake ink down here in the right corner. Just leave a little room around it so that it kind of balances out. Okay. And then I'm going to do the Your Suite and the Blushing Bride. In my head, I was going to do the opposite. I was going to do the Your in the Blushing Bride and then the Sweet. I mean, the Your was going to be in Crumb Cake and the Sweet was going to be in Blushing Bride. But with all of the Blushing Bride from the DSP, I thought maybe we would just pull in some more of that Crumb Cake. All right. I like that. And now what we're going to do is actually we're going to go ahead and layer, just with snail, our DSP. Okay. Center that on my card. And then I'm going to, just kind of using a little cheater method, I guess, I'm going to run a little bit of snail right here on the back of each side, and then just across the top so that I can put my seam binding down. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with a piece here in the back, and I'm going to line that. I want that lined up all the way at the top of my my panel. And I've got a little extra there, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of cut that. I could have taken it off and restrung it, but no need, we're good. And then I'm just going to wrap that around, making sure to stay at the top, and I'll go ahead and just cut off a little piece here. And then we're going to wrap that to the back. And again, you just want to make sure that it is lined up with the top edge, and just stick that down in the adhesive. If you want to use Scotch tape for this, you certainly could do that too. That's easy enough. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some more snail right on top of that seam binding so that that part of the card will stick as well. And then I'm going to add a little bit. I always like to add a little extra adhesive when I do things with ribbons or strings, just so that it stays flat. Now this will line up, this measurement will line up directly with the bottom of your designer series paper cut, so it is a perfect fit. If you would like to actually add a little bit of adhesive behind that seam binding, you could do that too. So you would just add a strip of ribbon or a strip of adhesive at the top. And then I'm going to take that little element that I had from the other project that you guys will see when you become my subscribers. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that right up here, just to kind of help bring in the colors, and I'm going to use some dimensionals for that. Just going to use kind of what I've got left here on this one instead of using a brand new one. So I'm just going to cut up just a couple pieces there. Pop that up. And then I would also add a piece of Whisper White to the inside. And then I'm just going to put that at an angle right there, kind of pulling in my crumb cake, and then that tying in all of my colors there. So there is our finished card project. Super quick. Something that you can whip out in a multitude of colors depending on what color designer series paper you're using. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So I hope that you'll give this card project a try. And if you have any questions about Paper Pumpkin and what my members get exclusively, please feel free to drop me an email, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Give this card a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment, and I will see you guys next week.